The world of ultra-marathon running, once viewed as beyond the understanding and ability of most people, is undergoing a significant boom in interest. As runners look for the next ultimate challenge, many are finding it within the ultra-running arena, and especially in the off-road trail ultra races. Anything over marathon distance technically qualifies as ultra distance, but it's the 100-kilometre courses which are the genuine ultra targets for many. The Ultra Trail World Tour, launched in 2013, is a series of annual races across the globe for elite and amateur runners. For the very best athletes, the potential now exists to add the Ultra Trail World title to their resume. In this show, we take you down under to New Zealand and the Tarawera Ultra Marathon, one of the fastest growing and most well-regarded races on the Ultra Trail World Tour. For the first Tarawera Ultra in 2009, just 60 runners lined up for the start. In 2015, 800 runners will tackle the 60, 85 and the 100-kilometre courses, making their way through some of the most stunning scenery in the world. Rotorua is the host city, a unique destination with a rich cultural history. The town sits surrounded by an astonishing landscape of lakes, mountains and forests. The first people to call Rotorua home were Maori, and their influence remains a key part of the region's identity. Maori lives and legends were linked strongly with the incredible geothermal activity in the area, and that association continues today. Every year, the people of Tapuia welcome the international field of Tarawera ultra runners to the region with a traditional pawhiri and a tour of the cultural centre, including Pahutu, the largest geyser in the southern hemisphere. Over 800 runners and their dedicated supporters gather at the edge of Rotorua for a 6 a.m. start.
I look on the internet, the trail looks lovely, and I'm not expecting nothing less than that. So it's going to be great.
Feeling really excited, a little bit nervous, but good nervous energy to keep me going.
Yeah, it's our second time, and we're going to finish the business that we were able to not finish last year.
I'm super crazy excited.
I'm just super crazy.
I'm running 60 and Winchell is running 100. We're from Taiwan. Taiwan. That's great.
Most of the runners up 3 or 4 hours before the start to eat and prepare. Lethargic, nervous, excited, but roused by the local Maori haka. Pikas, too experienced to be relaxed at this stage. She knows the pain that she is about to go through. It's inevitable if she wants to win here today. Lights on for the first section of the course as they head into the deep, dark woods surrounding Rotorua. The elite athletes all getting the privilege of starting in the front, and they really have gathered a very strong field this year in the women's alone. Johansson, the defending champion, Pika is there, Ruby Muir, Shona Stevenson also, and the men's field no less talented. Sunrise over Mount Tarawera, revealing the clear skies, a far cry from the storm clouds of last year, and good news for those going the full distance today, the full 100 kilometres. A steady climb out of the start, nothing too steep, but it's relentless. Yun Yanqiao of China setting the pace early on in the 100-kilometre race. He was second last year. Robbie Britton chasing after him from southeast England and looking good at the moment. Yoshihara of Japan, a potential winner, and the two Americans, Dylan Bauman in blue and Jorge Maravilla, his training partner. Ruby Muir looking to become the first woman to win this event twice. And there's Spain's Nuria Pikas, who will certainly provide some tough opposition. The Blue Lake at 10 kilometres, the first of many stunning stretches of water that they'll pass on the way. Kerry Suter two-time winner of this event, today running the first leg of the relay and leading the way in the early stages. Yun and Mortis arriving at the Blue Lake together. Now Yun is going 100k, Mortis just 60. I'm not sure the Chinese athlete is aware that his partner at the moment is going the shorter distance. This pace is fearsome for a 100-kilometer race. Last year's winner, Sage Canaday, said efficiency of running is absolutely key in the Tarawera race. The change of terrain, so challenging. Ruby Muir seems to be coping pretty well. She's the leading woman at the moment. There she is, going through that right knee bandaged, a really severe injury last year, ripping one of her quads away from its tendinous attachment. And many surprised to see her here. Many more surprised to see her leading at the moment. Shona Stevenson of Australia, just a couple of minutes behind, so a good solid pace being set by her. And just behind her, Nuria Picas of Spain, a world title already to her name. She's going to try and climb the 5th highest mountain in the world in May. Yun of China still pushing the pace in the men's race, with Robbie Britton in 2nd place.
Feeling good, man. Some sick trails. It's just good fun. You boys all right? I thought these other guys are going to chase the little Chinese guy too, but no one come with me. Oh.
Jorge Maravilla, 3rd in the 100k race.
Beautiful country, beautiful people.
Coming up to the 17.8 kilometer stage, just over an hour 20 gone. The pace very, very fast up front. From Akaraka and the food stop, the trail follows the Western Okataina walkway. And at the back of the pack at the moment, although ahead in terms of achievement and admiration, is Ian Hode of Australia. Mid-70s, he's doing the 60k race and hoping to crack the 13-hour mark. Ian already 3 hours behind the race leader, Yun Yanqiao of China, who's approaching the 37-kilometer mark, and he's going to be just over 2 hours 48 minutes. Now, with 3 big 100k wins to his name this year, Hong Kong, Beijing, Yishan, he's every right to feel confident, but that initial pace really was suicidal, and it's certainly slowed over the last 5k's or so. In he comes to the food stop, plenty of support, just a little bit too frantic. Over 60 kilometres still to go. Robbie Britton still in 2nd place.
30 seconds back from Yun.
All right.
So you're
He's in a rush, isn't he, Yun?
Just cruise, bro. Take it easy.
I'll take it easy.
Good luck out there. We'll see you.
Thanks very much.
1 minute flat, back.
Nice work, Robbie.
Jorge Maravilla still smiling, still in 3rd. And Dylan Baumann is closing the gap on the top 3 after a very conservative start.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys being out here.
No worries.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So while Maravilla's busy talking, Dylan Baumann has gone straight through ahead of his training partner.
But it sounds like only by a minute and a half.
And they still have a minute and a half to gain on the race leaders. Yoshi Hara, a 24-hour phenomena. 285 kilometers that man has run in 24 hours. Brian Powell certainly wanting his photo. Bartolo, Vagin Armstrong, still in there with a chance of getting on the podium again. He's done it 4 times already in this event. Ruby Muir doesn't seem to be showing any signs of that injury. Now, she had it drained, had her knee drained just 3 days ago. Prior to that, she could hardly bend the knee to 20 degrees, but she looks to be running well. An astonishing effort from her.
Loving it. That trail through there is just fantastic. Love to do it again.
The trail now follows the shores of Lake Okataina. free draining volcanic soil means there's absolutely no mud around, which is one of the big plus points on this run for the athletes. But it's still a very technical run. Dylan Baumann seems to be pushing the pace. Mike Wardian from USA, he's back again. Really disappointed that Hurricane Lucy disrupted the plans for last year.
It's quite a big gap, but we'll do it running.
Now he's got a few strange world records to his name. He's got the fastest marathon pushing a pram, he's got the fastest marathon on a treadmill, and he's got the fastest indoor 50 kilometre around a 200-metre track, 250 times around the track. Well, the scenery here must be blowing his mind today. And Wardian still in the running for a top 3. It's quite possible if he can keep this pace going. Ruby Muir, she's past 40k, and that is crucial, absolutely crucial, in proving that the injury is holding out. A month ago, she had to swing her leg out to the side just to get up and down steps. She's selected a slightly bigger pair of shoes from her normal today, just to protect the knee, of course, and protect the Achilles tendon and the calf. Will she survive the full 100? From Okataina Lake down to the shores of Tarawera, and then along to Tarawera Outlet, the 55-kilometre marker, and certainly a psychological point on the race.
We're not doing too bad at the moment. Just taking a 5-minute breather at the 55k mark. A bit of feed and a bit of pizza.
It's going well. I'm happy. It's the most beautiful country. Really cool.
But I'm so looking forward to Sunday morning. Oh, I'm going to enjoy Sunday. Thanks very much.
Got my crew at the falls, so looking forward to seeing my family and changing my shoes and smashing out the last 40.
Well, that last 40 will take the best just a little over 3 hours. It is very tough. But the trail accompanies the river all the way, providing welcome distraction for the runners. For those who can look, they'll see translucent water working its way through the gorges, down sumps, over cliffs and into emerald green pools. It really is a stunning river as it works its way down to the 65-metre Tarawera Falls. Now that will be the end of the road for the 60-kilometre racers, but for the 85 and 100, it really is the start of phase 2. It may be downhill geographically, but it's downhill as far as their bodies are concerned as well. For those that have done the full 100-kilometre distance before, they know that this is where the race becomes psychological rather than physical. And for those who haven't, they're about to find out.
I'm okay. My legs are getting pretty tired. I think I've got a lot of energy, but honestly I don't know. It's going to be that last 40 k's. It's going to be the real test. But I mean, here at the outlet, this is the turning point in the course, and it's home is that way, and I've got to get there. See ya.
Welcome back to the Tarawera Ultra Marathon. The leaders through 60 kilometres, 40 still to go. The race has a new leader, Dylan Baumann of the United States, and his time is very impressive.
My understanding is the record's 5:20s, in the 5:20s, and he's just come through here in 4:45, which for 60 k's, 4:45 is ridiculous.
Go deeper, you're strong, son.
So Dylan Baumann has really turned the pace up between 37 and 60, and he's dropped his teammate Maravilla. He's 11 minutes ahead now. He's gone past Robbie Britton. He's gone past Yun Yanqiao of China, who set the early pace. Jorge Maravilla into the food stop, and you can see the urgency in his body language. He cannot afford to let that lead open anymore if he wants to win today. Yun taking on as much food and drink as he can. A sign, perhaps, that he pushed too hard too soon. The next stage working its way through the pine forests that surround Tarawera, their final destination. Yang Kiao now struggling desperately as he sees Britain going ahead of him. And now, of course, they approach one of the toughest parts of the course, not just because of the climb.
Water.
It's known as the Loop of Despair.
You want the water in there? Yeah. Okay. Hey, are you going to be here?
I could stay here till you're back, yep.
Yeah, I need an exact split when I get back here.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Race director Tim Day has been tasked.
And now I got this big last climb.
Yep.
And it is big climb, and it's the steepest climb of the whole race. Baumann wanting all the information he can get so he can pace himself over the final stages. Here's the man who's chasing him.
You have an orange on the way down there.
You're about 2 minutes behind the front.
Thank you, gentlemen.
4.9k, you're going up, coming back to here. Up back. 2.5 kilometres going up, you're going up that hill.
22 minutes down on Dylan and 11 minutes down on Jorge. They've both gone out there. This is a 5k loop.
And Britain passes Dylan as Dylan comes back towards the drink stop.
So you've got 11 minutes on Jorge, 23 on Robbie there. So you're going well.
Cool. What, like 10 miles left?
Good. Yep. Good luck, mate.
10.5 miles for the Americans. For the rest, 17 kilometres.
Yeah. Third, that's third.
Yeah.
Fourth place at the moment for Japan's top distance runner. So Baumann, having made a break at 38 kilometres, looks comfortable in the men's race. A good 12-minute gap over the rest. In the women's, it's a much closer affair. Ruth Croft is catching Ruby Muir. Muir, who was 8 minutes clear at one stage, is now just a matter of metres ahead of Ruth Croft, who's put in a phenomenal effort from the 60-kilometre marker. Well, there you can see the distance. And Ruth Croft has visual. That is so important. Now let's see them coming through the food station. Often gives away how they're feeling. No delay this time for Ruby Muir. I think she sensed that there is danger behind. And a change in body language, without a doubt, from Ruth Croft. She flew through the last transition. And now I think if you put an armchair there, she would take her place gladly. 60 kilometres, the furthest that Ruth Croft has competed over before. She won her first ever 50. Has she got it in her to win her first ever 100? Ruby Muir, though, is heading for home and looking for her second victory of the Tarawera. Dylan Baumann, he was 12 minutes ahead with 17 kilometres to go, and he has not slowed his pace significantly. Surely it's too much for Jorge Maravilla to do to close that gap. And Dylan Baumann getting closer and closer to the finish. Dylan Baumann, who's a former lacrosse player, he only started ultra racing in 2008. Today, he wins the Tarawera Ultra Marathon in under 7 hours 45. A new record time for the American. A very impressive performance. He held his nerve at the beginning when the Chinese athlete Yun went off, and then made his break at 40 kilometres. He survived all the way through to 100, and he has a haka performed in his honour.
I think I may have gone a little bit too hard right when I took the lead. As a result, I don't think I finished as strong as I probably could have. But how can you complain? I'm super happy, super happy.
And second place, Jorge Maravilla, the training partner of today's winner.
Anyone who's listening to this from around the world, you got to come do Tarawera 100K. It's one of a kind, and I highly recommend it. I hope this isn't my last time here. This is an incredible community and a great race.
Okay, we have
And it's no wonder that this little man is so popular around the world. His son, a small chip off the block. They've come a long way to support him in this 100k race. Not a victory today for Yoshi, but he'll have plenty more. Robbie Britton, he came to win, just started too hard.
I went for first for the podium and I suffered because of that, but when Ewan went, I had to chase him. No one else chased him. And now I've had a bad last 20-30k, but what a beautiful race. It's such a lovely trail. I'll be back.
And so will many more, and let's hope that Ruby Muir comes back again. She's about to become the first woman to win the Tarawera on 2 occasions. She did it in 2013. She's going to do it in 2015, having put in a phenomenal burst over the last 10 kilometres. Ruby Muir, despite the injury, becomes the champion.
I guess it's the hardest race I've done. Just at 10k's out, Ruth Croft came directly parallel to me and I was in a really dark place. It was about, the worst I felt. My thighs were sore, my calves were sore, I wanted to walk. But I just had to see her beside me and found something I didn't know I had and finished far faster than I expected.
An unbelievable 60 to 90 kilometres from Ruth Croft. She caught her rival, but couldn't stay with her over the closing stages. And the challenge from Naria Pikas never really developing, but she still takes 3rd place. Another great run from her.
I felt a lot of tired at the beginning of the race, and I did all my best to finish the race, so I'm very happy to be here to finish the race, and of course to be the 3rd woman to cross the end, because it's really a miracle for me, sure. So I'm very happy.
So Baumann takes the win in the men, 7:44.58, a record time. Maravilla cramped at 60k but hung on for 2nd. And Yoshihara, sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad. Today he was excellent. Ruby Muir winning the women's event, 9:02.45. What is she going to do when she's fully fit? Holding off the challenge from Ruth Croft. And Naria Pikas of Spain in 3rd place. Well, it's no wonder the numbers have grown and grown and grown. One of ultra running's spectacular events. Some come to win, most come to survive the distance and soak up the scenery. This is a race that no one forgets.